And as this is all coming out, more and more of it coming out today, Senator Kaminsky, the president, is defending his financial maneuvering as sports. What's your reaction to that?
Well, in the New York State Senate, we're trying to make clear that New York is its own sovereign entity, which has to look after the rule of law. And so what we've said today are two important things. The first is that New York should join the 24 other states that give states a right to go after violations of state law, even if there's a presidential pardon. You know, we have a strong attorney general here, Tish James, who's made clear she wants to look at all the evidence without fear or favor, and we certainly want to give her the ability to do that. And with respect to the president's taxes, you know, this is about transparency. And, you know, New York certainly may have a role to play in doing that for this and for future presidents. And, you know, we need to be able to follow the facts wherever they lead. And New York as a state has a right to do that and protect this interest in doing so.
Mm-hmm. And Gwenda, how do you explain, back to what the Times found, the $53 million? It was in 1989 that the president reported that $52.9 million in interest income. Where do you suspect that money came from?
Well, that was, of course, during that period, he made all those takeover gestures. It seemed as though most of his income was coming from threats to do hostile takeovers and then selling them, and then selling the stock that he had, the stakes that he had bought in order to make those threats, selling them and making a tidy sum in a number of instances. That seemed to be the major source of income during those years. It wasn't even from real estate development. I thought that was really interesting.
The numbers, Senator, they show that Donald Trump has basically been running this con. You heard Gwenda say just up to the edge, right? It's a con for decades. How do you think he has gotten away with it for so long? You know, as a New Yorker, how do you think he's gotten multi-million-dollar loans when he is consistently in the red? Because, like, if we skip our cell phone payments, you know, my cell phone isn't working anymore, but he's still, you know, living high on the hog.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what troubles normal, regular voters is that we seem to have two different sets of rules for everyone else. And for, you know, for some people in Washington, particularly the president and maybe future presidents, and New York really wants to do something about that. You know, I was privileged to be a federal and a state prosecutor, and the goal was always to follow the evidence wherever it may lead, even if it doesn't lead to a result that you initially wanted or thought would happen. But we got to do that, and we certainly want to encourage and ensure our prosecutors in New York can continue to do that and not have the president use the pardon power to get around that, or to hide documents that may, you know, help, you know, investigations as well. So this is all about transparency, and I think that's a basic rule of government. You know, you don't get involved in government if you don't want people to, you know, to obviously know every fact about your life, especially those that may impact your job in office. And that's the trade-off you make, and it seems that he wants to have his cake and eat it too. New York Senate today had something else to say about that.
Senator Kaminsky, thank you so much. Gwenda Blair, nice to have you back as well.